Today's episode put a smile on my face. Yo, what's up everyone? Treyman1 here. Sonia's finally debuted. Welcome back to another review of Pokémon Journeys. This episode was quite interesting, episode 27, and a lot actually went down in this episode. My goodness. For starters, our boy Riolu is finally getting stronger, actually doing damage to Mr. Mime in another training sequence, which I'm really liking that Mr. Mime and Riolu are training constantly to get better. Sakuragi then comes in, gives Ash and Go some tickets to see Rayhan versus Leon, an official World Championship battle, and I find it quite interesting that Rayhan is number 7 in the Masters 8. So I'm wondering who is 8 and who is, the other trainers, because we know Leon is 1 and Lance is 2. As we know, Leon and Rayhan are rivals, and I think that the anime did a great job showing this off with when they entered the battlefield, they shook hands and they just were trash talking to each other, where Rayhan's like, I'm gonna wipe that smile off your face. It's like, oh, get ready, because I'm about to win this fight. Like, I just love the rival dynamic between these two. And while we're on this topic, I just want to say real quickly, in my video I made, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, called Ash's New Strategy, I discussed a theory, basically. I'll leave the link and the title card to that video in the description and on this video right here. But basically what I said was Ash learned from Lance's battle with Leon, where Lance used Dragon Dance, he took the hit, and then used that in Karina's battle to help him get to the super class. And once again, the same thing happens where Ash and Go end up pointing out some interesting things. One, they point out that Leon actually learned new moves. Now, I don't know if Ash is going to be changing his moves a lot this series. I don't think that's a real Ash move. That could happen. But the big thing I want to discuss is Iron Defense. Rayhan calls out Iron Defense and ends up, basically protecting the Pokemon from that move and raising his defense. As we know, Dragon Dance is one of these stat moves, and at first I thought Ash was going to learn some weathering techniques from Rayhan, but it seems Iron Defense may be the next thing. And the reason I say that is because in this episode, Ash catches Galarian Farfetch'd, and as we know, when you evolve Galarian Farfetch'd into sirfetch'd, the first move that it learns, would you look at that, Iron Defense. So right here, guys, this could be the big foreshadow that they're doing, and I'm really liking how they're doing this. Ash watches a battle against Leon, he learns something from the person battling against Leon and uses it to get to the next class. Then after that, he comes back and watches another battle. So I'm guessing that Iron Defense is going to be Ash's next strategy that he's going to use to help him get to the Ultra Ball class. And I'm really finding this interesting, this whole gimmick that they're doing. But yeah, guys, I'm going to discuss more about that a little later. Back to the review. I got to say, the fight itself, the fight was pretty good. It wasn't as good as Lance versus Leon, in my opinion. I don't know. It just felt like the fight was kind of rushed a bit. Like, the fight this time around happened in the beginning of the episode. Even before, the Who's That Pokemon, which I was like, yo, the fight's over already? Wow. And while Rayhan did put up a great fight, he unfortunately loses to Leon as well. Which in the games, they say Rayhan is the closest to ever defeating Leon, but I don't think this was a good battle to show that off, in my opinion. I don't know. It feels like Lance had a better shot. Oh, another thing I want to point out, too, is we see Steel Beam for the first time. And this may be something else Ash may be learning as well. Because Rotom Phone ends up pointing out Steel Beam is this powerful, all-out steel type attack, but at a cost of, wearing yourself down, basically. And that's, it takes 50% of your health. So Ash could try and play a risk with that, too, with maybe Lucario one day. But I'm looking more on the Iron Defense side with sirfetch'd. I do gotta say, though, even though it was kind of sad, seeing how easily Rayhan went down, they are doing a great job of showing just how powerful of a trainer Leon is. With Rayhan being like, I'm going to be the next person to beat you. And that's when good old Ash yells at the top of his lungs that he will be the first trainer to beat Leon. And actually, Leon ends up noticing and remembering Ash as well. So I thought that was a pretty cool, nice moment. One thing I was hoping for is that Ash and Rayhan kind of became rivals because they both have the same goal. But Ash actually doesn't interact with Rayhan in this episode. And following that scene, we get to see the appearance of the man himself, Chairman Rose. They're building up to this plot quite a lot. We had to turn to this last time. Chairman Rose here. And they actually end up mentioning that Chairman Rose raised Leon, which was kind of odd and interesting to me. Because, Leon does have his own family at home with Hop and everything. But for Chairman Rose to raise Leon, I don't know if they're trying to change the story a bit. Or maybe they mean like he trained Leon to be this great champion that he is today. But I just thought that was pretty interesting. And I feel like we will get some more answers to that later. But with all that said and done, we finally get to the moment that we all been waiting for. The queen herself appears, being Sonia. And it does seem like they're really following the game plot with Sonia as well, where Ash and Go are basically saying, you know, oh, I want to be like the heroic Leon. And she's like, oh, Leon is a hero, huh? Like, as in kind of like a bit of sarcasm where, as you know, in the game, Sonia and Leon were rivals, but, you know, Sonia just couldn't make it past the gym challenge. She could never beat Leon in battle. So I feel like Sonia probably has a bit of a grudge against Leon in this series versus where in Twilight Wings, we see these two chit-chatting on the phone. So yeah, they're making a big distinction between Twilight Wings and the anime. At first, I had a feeling they may try to connect these two, but it does seem like they're completely different series with, even though the same characters, totally different personalities. And Sonia ends up explaining the story from the games about the darkest day, how one hero with a sword and a shield basically took this whole thing down. So I'm really liking how they're actually doing Sword and Shield story. I know when the series first started, we were traveling the world. I didn't think they would tackle the story, but they do seem that they're tackling this. And with Sonya like saying a lot of stuff like, we don't know, you know, if this is true and that this is Sonya's homework assignment from Professor Mongolia and it's a lot of work. It does seem like Sonya right now is like Sonya in the beginning of the games where she didn't really know what she wanted to do. And I know I've been rambling on Sonya a lot, but I got to say the voice for Sonya was so perfect. I was so excited hearing it. Like it was just so amazing. Like the voice was perfect for the character. And the interesting detail that she ends up mentioning is that, you know, she's supposedly her grandmother's assistant, which that isn't really the case because she doesn't really do her job. Like Sonya has such great potential to be a main character, just going through like with Ash and Go being these research fellows and going around the world, maybe traveling with them to start to like researching more and more, and then the solving, you know, Sword and Shield's plot. Like I see so much potential, but with how the series is going, I don't think that's going to end up happening. What I'm hoping though is that Koharu and Sonya end up developing each other, where Sonya helps Koharu get back into Pokemon, and Koharu inspires Sonya to get back to, you know, discovering the darkest day. But yeah, I don't think this is the end of Sonya's character either. I do feel like we will be seeing her a lot throughout this series. Maybe the next time we come back to Galar, she'll show them the big Gigantamax monument, like in the grass next to Milo's gym, and we just get to learn more and more about Sword and Shield's plot through her. And now we get to the big plot twist moment. To be honest, I thought Go was going to catch Farfetch'd. And a lot of people said they wanted Ash to get Sobble, but I was personally Team Grookey because Ash got Greninja in Gen 6. He got Incineroar in Gen 7. And yes, he did get Rowlet in Gen 7 as well. It wasn't a Final Evolve starter. It was still powerful. But I think this is the generation where he should get the Final Evolve Grass type, being Rillaboom. Once again, I'm glad to see Go starting to battle more. He ends up battling against the Farfetch'd, but unfortunately he failed. And our boy Riolu actually comes in and does his thing using new moves, Force Palm, Reversal, and Double Team. Like Riolu has a full moveset finally, and it's looking really good to be an egg Pokemon. Literally defeating this Farfetch'd that was giving many trainers trouble. Like, this is pretty big in my opinion. Riolu has gotten pretty strong within 5 episodes. I know normally with the baby Pokemon, they don't really get that strong. Like, Scraggy took freaking forever. Noivern, even though it evolved and stuff, it never really won a battle. And I gotta say, Dolphin was like the only good one, but it took him so long to evolve as well. So I'm glad that they're actually putting some care into Riolu. And after Riolu ends up beating this Farfetch'd, all said and done, Ash actually ends up catching freaking Galarian Farfetch'd. And I gotta say, I was so happy by this. And yes, this probably does mean Go will catch Sobble, which I know a lot of fans aren't really hyped about. But I personally think this is a good move. Like, Sobble would kind of make sense for Ash because it's like the crybaby. He can train it up to be this strong Pokemon. But another water starter that's like kind of like stealthy like Greninja, I think they'll just be too similar and it just wouldn't have the same impact. So I say let Go have something interesting with Sobble where, you know how Reboot changed after evolving? Sobble could be like this cute crybaby Pokemon evolving in Drizzile, then maybe he becomes Code Go as well, and it helps Go learn more about Pokemon. Because even in this episode, Go was like, yo, Riolu can't take anymore. Ash was like, I know Riolu's not done. Even with Farfetch'd, he was like, come on, get back up, Farfetch'd. And he's like, what are you doing? Basically, Go still has a lot to learn as a Pokemon trainer. And I feel like if he goes through something similar with Sobble and Reboot, and yes, that may mean he may get Grookey as well, unfortunately, but I'll be all right with that. I think that'll be interesting growth for Go as a character to bond with his Pokemon. And since Ash did catch Farfetch'd, another fighting type, I think that this series is going to pull a black and white where Ash catches a lot of Pokemon throughout the series. But this time they're going to do it right. For one, Black and White was a traveling series, so he would be sending them back to Juniper back and forth. Here, it's like Sun and Moon where Ash is staying in one location at the Sakuragi Parks. He can see all his Pokemon at once if he wanted to. And he can just call and pick who he wants to go with him on his next adventure. So I feel like Farfetch'd was a good choice for Ash. Sirfetch'd is amazing. I use Sirfetch'd in the games, and oh boy, that's a powerhouse of a Pokemon. I do hope that this isn't the end of Rayhan, though. I really do hope Ash gets to battle Rayhan next time. They could be hyping this up where when Ash enters the Masters 8 tournament, he fights Lance, then Rayhan, then Leon. But I'm kind of hoping Rayhan is a recurring character throughout the series like Sonia will be, where maybe they do some training together. He can help Dragonite. Anything's possible. But overall, I got to say, this episode was great. Sonia, an amazing character. I can't wait to see more of her character throughout the series. I know I might be sounding a little biased, but yeah. I do hope we get to see more of Rayhan, though. And overall, Ash caught Farfetch'd. So I'm interested to see what you all think, because I know a lot of people are kind of conflicted. Like, a lot of people wanted Ash to get Sobble, which it seems Go will get Sobble. And also, 2 fighting types. Yeah, his team may be a little unbalanced like Kalos, but Kalos did get him to the finals. And he may not just be getting the original just 6 Pokemon. He may be getting a lot of Pokemon that he can use in rotation. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And please check out the Ash's new strategies video, because I go in detail of what happened with Ash and Lance. And come back and watch this video and see where I was talking about the same thing happens with Iron Defense possibly. Thank you all for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. TreyMan1, peace out.